The Franco-Prussian War, a conflict erupting in 1870 and concluding in 1871, stands as a watershed moment in European history, fundamentally reshaping the continent's political landscape and marking the dramatic birth of a unified German empire. Prior to this pivotal war, Germany was a patchwork of independent states, kingdoms and principalities, loosely bound together in the German Confederation, a system largely overseen by Austria. The Austrian Empire, a multinational entity, had traditionally exerted considerable influence within this confederation, but its dominance was gradually eroded by the rising power of Prussia under the shrewd leadership of Otto von Bismarck. Bismarck, the Prussian minister-president, was a master of realpolitik, a political philosophy emphasizing practical considerations and power dynamics over ideological or moral concerns. His goal was clear: to unite the North German states under Prussian leadership and exclude Austria from any future German dominance, paving the way for a powerful, centralized Germany. The Austro-Prussian War of 1866, orchestrated by Bismarck, swiftly eliminated Austrian influence, leading to the formation of the North German Confederation, with Prussia at its helm. France, under the ambitious and increasingly unstable reign of Napoleon III, viewed the burgeoning Prussian power with apprehension and suspicion, fearing a shift in the European balance of power. Napoleon III, seeking to bolster his domestic popularity and assert French influence, actively sought alliances to contain Prussia, but his efforts proved largely unsuccessful. The succession to the Spanish throne in 1868 provided the spark that ignited the Franco-Prussian War, a complex diplomatic crisis rooted in dynastic ambitions and European power struggles. When Queen Isabella II of Spain was overthrown, a vacancy opened, and Prince Leopold of Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen, a distant relative of the Prussian King William I, was offered the throne. France, wary of a strengthened Prussian dynasty on its border, pressured Prussia to dissuade Leopold from accepting the offer, a request initially refused. Leopold initially accepted the offer, but, under increasing pressure from both Prussia and European powers, eventually declined. But the damage was already done. The Ems Dispatch, a deliberately misleading and inflammatory telegram released by Bismarck on July 13, 1870, skillfully manipulated public opinion in both France and Prussia. The dispatch, intended for the French ambassador to Prussia, Benjamin Constant, was publicly leaked, portraying a terse and dismissive response from King William I to a request for a formal French explanation regarding the Spanish succession. Bismarck's editing of the telegram, omitting key context and emphasizing perceived French arrogance, inflamed French public opinion, demanding immediate action and a declaration of war. Napoleon III, eager to capitalize on this wave of nationalistic fervor and believing France possessed military superiority, declared war on Prussia on July 19, 1870, a decision widely considered a grave miscalculation. The Prussian military, under the leadership of Helmuth von Moltke the Elder, was far better prepared and equipped than the French army, thanks to meticulous planning, modern weaponry, and a robust mobilization system. The initial Prussian offensive was swift and devastating, rapidly overrunning French forces in the battles of Worth and Spicheren, demonstrating the effectiveness of Prussian military doctrine. The Battle of Sedan, fought on September 1, 1870, proved to be a catastrophic defeat for the French, resulting in the surrender of Napoleon III and a substantial portion of the French army. The Franco-Prussian War quickly evolved from a conflict between France and Prussia into a broader war against France, as other German states joined Prussia's side. The Siege of Paris, lasting from September 1870 to January 1871, became a symbol of French resistance, but also a period of immense hardship and suffering for the Parisian population. Despite fierce fighting and tenacious defense, Paris eventually fell to the Prussian forces, marking a decisive turning point in the war. With the capture of Paris and the abdication of Napoleon III, the Second French Empire collapsed, paving the way for the establishment of a new French government. The Treaty of Frankfurt, signed on May 10, 1871, formally concluded the Franco-Prussian War, imposing harsh terms on France, including the cession of Alsace and Lorraine to Germany. The treaty also stipulated a large indemnity payment from France to Germany, further crippling the French economy and fueling resentment. The most significant consequence of the Franco-Prussian War was the proclamation of the German Empire on January 18, 1871, in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles. The event, deliberately staged in Versailles, the former seat of French royal power, served as a powerful symbol of German dominance and a profound humiliation for France. William I of Prussia was proclaimed German Emperor, marking the culmination of Bismarck's long-term objective of German unification under Prussian leadership. The unification of Germany fundamentally altered the balance of power in Europe, establishing a new great power with significant military and economic strength. The Franco-Prussian War also had profound social and political consequences for both France and Germany. In France, the collapse of the Second Empire led to the establishment of the Third Republic, a period marked by political instability and ongoing debates about national identity. In Germany, the creation of a unified nation-state fostered a sense of national pride and facilitated rapid industrialization and economic growth. Bismarck skillfully navigated the post-war landscape, forging alliances with other European powers to isolate France and maintain German dominance, a policy known as realpolitik. The Franco-Prussian War had a lasting impact on European history, contributing to the rise of nationalism, militarism, and the increasingly complex web of international relations that would ultimately lead to World War I. The territorial concessions made to Germany, particularly the annexation of Alsace-Lorraine, remained a source of resentment in France for decades, fueling revanchist sentiments and contributing to the tense atmosphere leading up to World War I. The war showcased the effectiveness of modern military technology, such as the Krupp artillery, and highlighted the importance of a strong, centralized state in mobilizing resources for war. The speed and decisiveness of the Prussian victory demonstrated the shift towards a more professional and technologically advanced military system, signaling the decline of traditional warfare. The events of 1870-1871 underscore the complex interplay of nationalism, power politics, and military strength in shaping the course of European history. The Franco-Prussian War remains a pivotal moment in the story of both France and Germany, marking the end of one era and the beginning of another. It is a reminder of the enduring power of nations to shape their destinies and the enduring consequences of conflict.